People have not been responding well to the Snow White trailers that have been coming out from Disney, but there's an interesting set of data, a trend, if you will, that shows that maybe Disney is moving in the right direction, or perhaps Disney is doomed. Let's talk about the Rachel Zegler problem here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my blue friend, Mr. VashSky. Vash, doing all right today?
I am doing just fine. You know, a little Zegler in the morning just puts a pep in your step.
I will not read into whatever you have just said there. Yeah, she seems to be the gift that keeps on giving as far as conversations go, but in this case, it seems like people are reacting poorly to anything that has her in it. To be fair, she seems to be reacting poorly to anyone that has a comment on what she's in, unless it is effusive praise. Let's talk about it. As you all might have seen, we need to commemorate the new year with a new milestone here that Disney has hit. Rachel Zegler's Snow White trailer dislike ratio show an alarming trend that points to Disney disaster. That's alliteration in that title there. It makes me think that Marvin, first of all, excellent editor-in-chief over there at That Park Place. I love the coverage that he's been doing, but that alliteration, that's usually at the request of a magnificent maestro, Mr. WDW Pro. Look at that. She does not look happy. Disney's trailers for its upcoming live-action Snow White remake starring troubled and controversial Hollywood star Rachel Zegler have all received insane dislike ratios on YouTube. It's a big word, but it's not hyperbole. But when one looks at the three videos side by side, a trend emerges that should be alarming for the brass at Disney. Most notably, each subsequent Snow White trailer has received fewer views and interactions than the one before, showcasing a growing apathy among the movie-going public. I'm not sure that it's apathy. Well, let's talk about that here. This, a screen cap from YouTube, the view count and historic dislike ratio for the first trailer of Disney's live-action Snow White starring Rachel Zegler, YouTube, Disney. This premiered 4 months ago, has 11 million views, has 100,000 likes, and that's on the public view counter here. But according to the private dislike ratio that you can only view if you have a special plugin installed on your browser, appears to have reached 1.4 million dislikes. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. Guys, do you think this is a Disney problem? Is this a Rachel Zegler problem? Is this that people just don't like Snow White? What do you think?
That's kind of all the above, but 1.4 million dislikes. A lot of videos or even trailers on YouTube don't even get 1.4 million views. The fact that you had so many people log in and view a trailer and downvote it, even though they knew that most of the viewing audience wouldn't actually see those downvotes, it's very, very surprising. I think this is multiple things. I think the word has gotten out that Rachel Zegler, she has said some things in the past that have maybe rubbed people the wrong way, especially as it relates to Walt Disney's original animated classic. So I think you have, some stuff headed in that direction, but also too the quality of this work right here, I think is not very good. I think a lot of people are kind of judging this by the visuals that they see, about the advertisement that the Walt Disney Company has put out so far. And it just hasn't been that well received. Even the people, I bring this up every single time, but even the people who were shown footage at the D23 Expo, people who were most predisposed to liking whatever Disney actually put out, said that, ooh, this one's a miss. So I really don't know who the audience is going to be for this when it releases. We can clearly see, though, that it really isn't hitting on any cylinder whatsoever.
I totally agree. Culture, you know what I just realized? This is not the trailer that we were talking about that came out 4 weeks ago.
No.
If somebody told me that came out 4 months ago, because my goodness, we have covered that many times. This is the teaser trailer that preceded even that. So if we go over here to the official trailer that we've been tracking, looks like that one is at 859,000 here with only 35,000 likes. And this one, let's see here. Looks like they finally changed to the Disney logo. Looks like they've abandoned the Mufasa logo that they did.
Finally, yeah.
6 million subscribers on that channel. Maybe someday they'll make something of themselves.
Well, I want to bring this to your attention. Doesn't
Yeah.
that seem a little low for the quote unquote Disney Channel?
Yes. Well, faceless channels, you can never quite tell who is going to end up subscribing to them.
Well, but the reason I say it that way is because I seem to recall a the Walt Disney Channel or the Walt Disney Productions Channel or whatever, or Walt Disney Studios Channel, having many more subscribers than that. Am I incorrect? I keep asking this question because I'm like,
They have such a diverse number of social media handles on YouTube that perhaps there is something out there that has that many subscribers. This is they went from a strategy where they fully listed out what the channel was down to single word titles like Star Wars, or single concept titles Star Wars,
mm,
Disney, Pixar. I think they went for more of a totalized brand thing. That's probably the work of Asad Ayaz, the new global marketing chief over there at the
ah,
Disney company.
well,
Uh,
well, well, this one didn't do
Probably
that much.
somebody who maybe looks at what Johnny Ive did over there at Apple and said, "Oh, we could do that too."
Well, but what goes along with these ratios, of course, are the comments fields. I mean, this ratio is also equally ridiculous. I think that the apathy is set in for the audience for this particular project because the first presentation of it and the actress has basically driven this downward. So you're going to have fewer views, you're going to have fewer responses. They're hoping that everybody wears themselves out. But when you get to the comments, I think that's where the quote unquote real Disney people live.
Yes. And if we didn't try so hard to keep it clean on this channel, I might go scrolling through those. It's kind of a Pandora's box to go down through here. And coming theater, here's one: Disney coming to a theater near you. Me, is that a threat? People clicked on that video not to watch the trailer, but to read the comment section. Bud Light, boy, did we ever um, fool around and find out. Disney, hold my poison apple. Yeah, the reaction here is, I would say it's not so much controversial as it is consistent. Let's see here. Going back to the article, though, the first trailer garnered an impressive 11 million views rapidly, but interest did not sustain over time, accumulating 1.5 million viewer interactions on YouTube, composed of 1.4 million dislikes and just 100,000 likes. Here is the one that was 4 weeks ago, and it's grown since this article came out, which is really saying something. That's a jump of what another 15,000 dislikes. Nope, more than that. If anyone is watching this stream and heading over there, we're not asking anyone to go over there and dislike this video. That is not something that we are endorsing or asking for here. But I think that Disney is the latest victim of this poor young woman right here. When I say poor, I just don't think she was raised right. In fact, I think she's quite wealthy in the literal sense of the word, but poor as in this poor person has not received the right kind of guidance in her life. Um, Marvin, and you guys need to go check out this article and see some of the excellent work that Marvin has done in compiling what Rachel has been up to on social media, including using the opportunity of a trailer release to weigh in on a geopolitical conflict in the Middle East, which is, of course, everything that Disney was hoping that social media would be used for, or the fact that she said that people, not even members of a political party, people who voted for a certain candidate that won should never know peace. And then all of a sudden, she released a statement after the fact apologizing, and that apology was actually properly capitalized, which is something that she does not do as a style reason on anything else that she publishes. She doesn't seem to be a very nice person, and I think she's in her early 20s. Maybe she's in her late 20s now. Who cares at this point? But she tweets more like a 15-year-old who's trying to be the edgy one that all the narcissistic girls look up to. I would put most of this on this young lady right here more than anything else. I threw in there, do people dislike Snow White? I don't think that's true, Culture. You kind of agreed with that one in the mix, but I'm gonna point
Yeah.
that out there.
No, I'm with you. It's not Snow White, the character, at least not the classic character as we understand it from 1937 and all of its other presentation by the Disney company up until the last, well, I don't know, how long has this lady been involved in this production? from that point forward, it became very tainted and very much based on a recent neo-Marxist approved narrative. So.
Yep. You know, when I got on YouTube, I figured no one knew what Marxist meant, but it's actually a lot more common of a term. And I suppose we can thank the By Large Mansions movement for that. Two things I want to say real quick. Good morning out there to Polly from the Latino Slant, and Happy New Year to you, sir. I hope you're doing well out there. And also, Olaf makes an excellent point about Rachel Zegler. She started the anti-Renner and anti-Carano movement on X. Yes, she did. She went after two people that generally people like, especially Jeremy Renner out there saving lives and suffering for it, or at least saving life and suffering for it. But yeah, she what has she done? Well, she's complained and made a few variety people interview her and make her look what she thinks is good. Oh, and what a special treat. We actually have the author of this article joining us. Welcome, Marvin.
Hey, guys. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was getting a new article about the Superman supposed test screenings up on the site. But yeah, this Rachel Zegler thing, this was just something that I noticed. I was going through the dislike ratios, and I was just kind of like, huh. People don't seem to be they're still disliking it more than liking it, but not as many with each subsequent video.
So you're saying it's gone down. That is where the apathy comes in. So maybe you heard me. Maybe you heard me pushing back on that word there. Apathy is the dangerous point at which you get to, because there's been 2 weeks of Skeleton Crew releases at this point that we have not covered on the WDW Pro channel, and the number of people who have been asking us about it has been -5.
Oh yeah, if you're still early in the article, yeah, we get into what the apathy means as we go through.
Well, we have limited time, and I want to make sure that everybody goes and checks out this article. This is supposed to be a taste of the excellent work that Marvin is doing over there.
If you want me to give a Reader's Digest version of what I noticed as far as apathy goes, basically the first trailer had about 11 million views and upwards of 1.5 million interactions, and then it goes down from there. The next trailer had I think 6 point something million views and less interactions, and then the most recent thing, the song they released, had only like 200 something thousand views. So my point is that people still hate it, but the number of people that I hate watching it is going down, which means that hype around this is going down.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even, Marvin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this could even rise to like disconnected, like boredom. I mean, people just don't, I don't think people care. I think they're just bored with this girl and this concept and.
Yeah, culture. I don't think people are even going to go hate watch this movie, and I think that's the danger that they're in. They could have actually still made some money if people were showing up to the theater to hate watch it. Yeah. But no.
I agree with you, and it's a funny thing to me. This is a movie that on paper should make money. It is a live action remake of a Disney classic, the Disney classic. It has a screenplay from the writer of Barbie. It has music from Pasek and Page. I know that Pasek is the writer, from the guys who wrote the music for La La Land and The Greatest Showman. There's a lot about this that should be successful, but and I say should, like all the news, that should be fun.
That's what you're doing there.
This should be a swing and a home run, but instead, Rachel Zegler can't help herself but go ahead and tell us what she thinks about everyone in the world. Just going down a list and offending everybody one by one.
Even if you just look, Jonas, at like the song they released, it's not a Snow White song.
No.
Snow White is light and fluffy, and I'm wishing for the one I know. Like it was very like legato, and this is like Broadway belting. It's not Snow White. It's Belle, maybe, but it's not Snow White.
I agree. Yeah. I totally agree. This bears no resemblance whatsoever, and I realize how that can be interpreted. This bears no resemblance to the Snow White of 1937. Go ahead, Culture.
Well, wouldn't this, and again, this has been my concern with this the entire time, and since her selection, since her conversation about it with the variety folks and everything else that started to drive this train in the wrong direction. This is actually a property, an actress in a film that can drive people to detach. It'll drive detachment from Disney. I mean, you have Disney lifestylers, pixie dusters, call yourselves what you will. But if you're a Disney adult, this could drive detachment because it's taking the classic, the definitive Disney film, the make or break, the rescue, whatever you want to term it as, this 1937 classic, and just destroying it, smashing it into a million pieces. It will no longer have the same cultural relevance. It will no longer have, admiration. This will not draw more, certainly. This is a big problem. And look, I mean, I not to sling hate at her directly, but she's yet to have anything successful happen with her name attached to it.
Really, she has not. And there's been a slew of Hollywood starlets that, and I don't want to name them all. Rachel Zegler has kind of asked for it with the aggressive comments that she's made continuously over time. She's gone from gaffe territory to no, we're just getting more familiar with your personality here. There are other actresses, and this happens with actors as well. Jonathan Majors would be a great example of someone who was overhyped to the point where everyone started to notice how overhyped he was. There is a young lady who is currently in Marvel productions and everything else that I still have not seen any evidence that she's anything more than acting in her personality. Like, she's playing a type, but that type is also not appealing. And now she's going to be working in with one of my favorite filmmakers. And please don't out me by saying the exact name, but everybody's going to know exactly. But her boyfriend is the lead in a movie. And he's the lead in many of those movies, and she ends up in those movies over and over again. It's like, guys, please, just can you poll the audience one time before you put this actress in everything?
Can I say her name, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Robot model lady.
Yeah. It seems like she exists.
Who you guys are referring to? Tell me in the private chat if you don't want to say it.
No, it's there. Everybody's understing.
Yeah, the original plank of wood.
Right. I mean, there are people out there that for a while that Jai Courtney was like, why is everybody putting Jai Courtney in everything? But eventually Jai Courtney got a role or two that I go, okay. It seems like there's a lot of people in Hollywood that look at what is the coarsest, most vulgar thing that's on HBO right now. Well, we need to pretend like that's great. So let's put those actors and actresses and everything.
Now, wait a minute. There's a particular blonde that not only has acting chops, but is reasonably attractive in one of those shows.
No, well, I don't know. I can't speak to anyone's actual acting ability. But if you're going to be casting for looks, that's a completely, this is getting really close to my line on gentlemanly conduct.
Okay, all right. Well, let's
casting for looks. We're looking in a different direction than the person I'm referring to. We got to stop and we got to move on before I.
Someone in the chat said Natalie Wood. Yep, it's Natalie Wood. You guys hit it right on the head.
No. I don't know.
Yeah, people aren't too far off here. All right, let's get to some super chats though. So to relieve myself of the we don't call women uggos on the stream rule. Comics Dad for $4.99. Snowshoeing is my 5-year-old.
Snow White.
Oh, Snow White is my 5-year-old favorite ride. The cast member playing her at Disney World last year made her dream come true. She hated the trailers, and she's 5. There's no one in my house. And I got to say, I've got someone who is the most optimistic person in the entire world in my house that will give you a hug just for existing. Not interested in this trailer. I have another person who is the exact target audience for anything that resembles a princess being on screen. Not interested in this film. So Disney has missed the marks here. And by the way, Comics Dad, congrats on starting the new channel there. Hey, Marvin, by the way,
yes.
That was pretty good. That little rendition of I'm Wishing there. I think you should think about other songs in Snow White that you might consider doing. Just think about that for a second before I move on with the super chats. Going Shogi, member for 8. Nobody is enjoying her downfall more than the people she probably bullied in high school. She's got strong mean girl energy. Yeah. I'm thinking that she was probably the queen of her local theater department, whatever high school she went to. It's a famous one, I bet. Photon Empress here for $20. Here is $20 to have Marvin sing Snow White for us some more.
Gosh.
You got some fun.
That's what that's what you're referring to. I hadn't seen it yet. I was just asking the person, what?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Someday my prince will come. That's what $20 gets you.
It'll be up to Photon Empress to decide whether or not that was $20 worth there.
Yeah, tune in tonight on Toontown TV. I'll do a whole Snow White medley.
Wait a minute.
No, not that one.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.